this is Lisa with Holland Designs Crochet. I'm just going to be showing you today a baby bonnet that I'm working on. This is a custom design request for a coordinating bonnet to go with a pattern I created a while ago, some years ago, called the Classic Baby Cardigan. And so someone asked me to create a classic baby bonnet to coordinate with that. And I've made several baby bonnet patterns in recent years, which are made to measure bonnets. There's a size chart in the pattern and a schematic which shows the dimensions of the pieces that you make. You basically make a rectangle for the front of the bonnet, and then there's a square section here at the top, or another either square or rectangle at the top. And I've got a stitch marker in here. I'll show you later what that's for. So basically, for this particular bonnet, I began at the edge here with a foundation row of loops. I did a demonstration on that in a video just recently, the Sand of the Sea throw. I've started the same way. And so this is, again, just a chain 3, double crochet, and third chain from hook, and repeat, and then you just measure your starting row. This is a newborn size, so this one was 11 inches. Basically, it was 11 inches. And this is a merino that I'm working with. So each yarn you're working with will have a little different stretch, and so maybe a little bit different as far as the measurements and that. So this one I did that beginning foundation, and this is where the tie that I make later will be threaded through. So that's quite easy to thread your tie through there. And then this one has some ribbing, and then a variation of stitches here to create this pretty texture, and it's the same on both sides basically. So now that I've finished my rectangle and I've got it 4 inches tall for the newborn size, I've measured my piece here, it's 4 inches. Now I need to find the section here where I need to work, and I want to have an even number of stitches, just because this particular stitch repetition here, it uses an even number to create this texture. And so I want to find, for the newborn size, a section here that's 2.5 inches wide and work in rows. So to do that, I simply am folding the bonnet in half lengthwise there, and then I've measured already. So rather than 2.5 inches, as I want half of that, I'm doing 1.25 inches. So when I did it earlier, I measured it, and that was the measurement that I needed. So basically I measured 1.25 inches there, and I put a stitch marker, and I had counted that it was actually 14 stitches that I was going to be working here. So I will just count back as I start, and I will find my 14 stitches, and I'll work in rows to create the top part of the bonnet, and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, I've finished the rows for, it's actually the back of the bonnet, this top section here, and basically I just worked in rows until this length here was the same as this length. So I've fastened off, and what I end up doing is I'll end up matching up these two sides here. And then I've got my yarn needle, and with whip stitch I will simply sew this seam here on the side. Or you could also do a slip stitch if you didn't want to use a yarn needle, as long as your slip stitch seam is on the inside of the bonnet. It should be fine, so it's not visible. And so I'll just continue, and I'll sew that, and then I'll do the exact same thing on this other side here as well. So I'll sew that, and once that's completed, I'll show you how the bonnet looks. All right, here's a look at the finished size newborn bonnet. I did a row of single crochet here at the bottom just to give it a nice finished edge, and I created a tie, and I wove that through the loops at the front of the bonnet. So this is what it looks like when it's finished. Size chart in the pattern includes sizes newborn up to toddler sizes, and it's quite easy to customize, and also use yarn and hook of choice, work to your own gauge. Hopefully you'll enjoy trying this design or something similar. I have used this for several bonnets, so I'll include some links to other bonnets and images of those so you can see how I've done something similar with other stitches.